Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Michael Burhan from Nerd Genius. I am the Nerd Genius as most people put it. I do interviews, I do reviews, and I do gaming reviews and content. And the reason why I'm here to discuss something with you today, because I don't have another Rather Rich review out today, is because of the fact that there is an important thing that we need to discuss. It's called Article 13. It's under a new bill that was pitched and also has basically won by a landslide of 48 to 23 in terms of Parliament. 39 MEPs have abstained from the vote. That's the reason why it's won by a certain huge amount. And the biggest thing that's going on with this at the moment is the fact that we have gotten this through, and this works great if you're big business. If you're a music company and your songs are being used in YouTube videos, it means that you can basically go to my video or anyone else's and you can get us to either remove that content or even sue us or the platform that we're using in order to make sure that you retain your copyright over that. Because of course most of these companies are blaming YouTubers, they're blaming film reviewers, they're blaming gaming reviewers, they're blaming everyone in terms of ways to basically get their content out there because they don't like the fact that we are using their content. We are usually basically protected under the DMCA Copyright Act, which states that we can use it for parody purposes and we can use it for review and critical analysis, and we can also use said content in ways that are transformative. And if you don't know what transformative means, it means you can use chunks of 20-second clips in ways to kind of mishmash and make old content into new content. So if I've got a review of Super Mario Brothers, I can actually use that content, but only small bits of it, in order to turn that review and make it new. But it also is covered under forms of parody. If you're making a Mario parody or a game critical analysis review, you can be covered as that as well. I'm considered two things. On YouTube, I'm considered a gaming journalist. On basically out there in the real world, I am an actor. I'm a full-time actor. This thing does not affect me whatsoever, because if my YouTube channel dies, I basically have my acting career to fall back on. This for me is a hobby, and it always will be a hobby because I would never be doing this full-time. And the reason behind that is I love what I do. It got me through some hard times, but at the same time, it's something that I like to do to kind of keep my creative juices flowing. A lot of you may not like it, a lot of you may not like me, but that's what it is. So this is concerning a lot more of the full-time channels who do this full-time, because they're no longer protected under DMCA regulation. And also companies like YouTube, Kotaku, it affects basically websites such as Verge. Anybody who does a gaming review or a film review or whatever, if someone doesn't like your review, that basically allows them to go to your content and get it ripped down in terms of copyright. They can sue you, they can sue your website, they can sue anybody that they want in order to make sure that they claim lost royalties back from their product. And it happens, and you can't say it doesn't happen, because it does happen. Companies like Nintendo have done this content ID claim system where they basically go in and they will monetize your video and take all the royalties from your content. And some of you may say, well, you know, I have a Patreon, so I don't really have to worry about my YouTube channel and the royalties that I get from that. But this is a much bigger thing. What's happening now is YouTube has even threatened to block UK content, EU content specifically, from watching their product, and also basically block us in terms of UK channels from uploading. Now, I'm going to be clear right now, as I'm going to be moving at the end of next year to Canada, so this doesn't affect me whatsoever in terms of having my content blocked, but it will affect others, people I care about, people whose channels I watch on a regular basis. Larry Bundy, for instance, guys like Slopes Games Room, big channels who are, well, not necessarily big, they're kind of moderate channels who are growing to big effect, who, even though they have partnerships with certain companies, like Slopes has partnerships with Sega, you're going to have certain things that you won't be able to cover, or certain content that Sega may not own the copyright to, certain music may be placed in, and then you will be basically having the reign of corporate UK, corporate America, corporate Europe running down on your arsehole, and that's the way that it's going to be. It is a big problem. It's a big problem because it's no longer a content ID claim system, even though YouTube's content ID claim system is terrible, and the fact that they don't promote smaller channels is terrible, despite the fact we've had freaking talks and stuff about this. And their handling of this situation isn't great either. They have since stated that they will try to work with the EU on ways to make the content ID claim system stronger so that they can avoid issues with copyright. But if you sit there and think, well, I don't have to make YouTube content, I'll just move to Facebook Watch. Nope, because this covers that too. Okay, I'll just go to Dailymotion. Nope, covers that too. Covers your Patreon as well. Any way that you are showing this content and content that belongs to someone else, you could face having yourself sued. The company you work for, yourself, and even companies like YouTube, who will have to face the burden of what you upload. It means the end to creative content. It means the end to critical analysis, and it also means the end to creative and critical reviews. Bye-bye, angry video game nerd. Bye-bye, happy console gamer. Bye-bye, stuff like Stop Skeletons from Fighting. Any person that is doing a review, whether it's retro, whether it's non-retro, there is a problem. Unless a company has specifically given you a written consent, you and you entirely will be responsible. So if you're thinking of quitting your day job and moving full-time to YouTube, kudos to you, but you need to look into this. And I'm going to basically put a link to the article below so you can have a look. It includes Article 13, Article 12. Article 13, also there is a joke running around saying that it will affect memes, but it can literally affect stuff that you post on your websites. So if you're a news site and you share news from other news sites and they claim copyright on that, basically you're no longer protected under DMCA regulations or even citing your sources. You as a site will have a problem. Thus is the main issue with this. Now, what can you do to kind of fight this? I would say start a change.org petition, which I'll try and do one myself to basically see how this works. Spread the news on Article 13. We need to speak about this. If you know your local MEP and who they are, lobby them to go out there and basically fight this, because the problem being at the moment is corporations are taking control of your content, and this has become a big issue where they will take control of what you view on the internet. This isn't just a copyright issue, it's a content issue. Thus it creates the problem, because now they are using this as a way to stop you from criticizing their content, from analyzing their content, from basically creating parodies of their content. Because no matter what you think about it, it means that you cannot have these types of content. Also, it can affect people in the gaming emulation world. If you have ROM sites that are out there that you use to basically grab certain ROMs so you can play certain games, this will affect that too. So if you are in the EU, it means that they will be blocking every single bit of content that you want to read, that you want to watch, and that you basically like to enjoy, content that you digest. If you are in the United States and outwards, it means it will cut off a big chunk of your audience. So please spread the word. Make sure that you save our internet. Hashtag save our internet. Because if you don't, and you leave this for the next generation to clean up, I guarantee you there will be nothing left to clean up. We will be in a position where nobody will be able to view the great quality content that YouTube and its creators produce. And thus, it will put an end to creative freedom, and it will put an end to what we now perceive as the internet. So this has been Michael Burhan for a vlog video, just letting you know that I'm going to do everything in my power to save the internet. Will you?